Hey guys, we're back here and we need to cut a sheet of drywall. So I was going to go over the details of how to do that. The sheet of drywall we're going to cut is going to be 87 3/4 of an inch long, and then we're going to rip it in half, 2 feet wide, just to show you how to do both cuts here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your tape measure, and we're going to go, there's two different ways. I'm going to show you two different ways to cross cut the drywall here. The first thing we're going to come down here, we're going to take our tape measure up here. We measure down 87 3/4. And I use my utility knife to mark this. And I mark this like so, right on the 87 3/4. This is if you don't have a drywall square. This is the way I would cut it, all right? I would put a notch there at 87 3/4, and then maybe a little crow's foot so I could see the thing. All right, now down here at the bottom, I'm going to mark 87 3/4 as well. So I put my tape on, 87 3/4, and I'm marking with my utility knife again. Okay. Now that I have that done, if I don't have a drywall square, I can use my chalk line here. And since I made this handy dandy notch in it, I can just take my chalk line, put it in the notch there, and one man then can snap the line like so, okay? So that would be one way to mark your drywall. Then you cut it, we would just cut through the paper, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. I'm going to show you another way to mark it first before I show you how to cut it. So the other way we could mark it would be with a drywall square. All right, to cross cut, we use this drywall square right here. Okay, so to use a drywall square, we normally just let them up there on the drywall like so. We always cut it with the drywall leaning up like this against the wall is the easiest way to cut it. So again, we'll come down here, we would measure our 87 3/4. At this point, we can just put a crow's foot. We don't need to put that notch in there. So you just mark it 87 3/4. Then we just take our drywall square to the mark, all right? And when I do this, I make sure my hand's up here, out of the way. I put my foot down here, and I take my utility knife, a good sharp blade, and all I need to do is run it along the edge of my square. If I don't have a square, I can use any kind of straight edge or just try to freehand it. It's probably normally close enough with drywall. So I cut through the paper like so. Set my square aside. Then I pull it out like about a foot away, and I hit it with the back like that, and that cracks my drywall just like so. Now I can take my utility knife and cut all the way through my drywall and get rid of this piece. Okay, this is the piece that I need. Now I need to rip it 2 feet wide. So to rip it, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it this way 2 feet wide. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to take my knife, mark it 24 inches. So my chalk line will sit in that notch. I'm going to come down here, mark it 24 inches because 24 is half of 4 feet, half of 4. I have a little crow's foot there. I'm going to take my chalk line again, hook it into my notch. Oops. Get into my notch a little better than that. And snap my line. Now this cut, most of the time, if you're careful enough, you can cut it nice enough free-handed. And I'll show you what this looks like. So you're going to take your knife again. I'm just going to cut through the paper along my blue line. All right, well, once I have that done, I can pull this away, crack my board, like so. Get a little relief, and then I can cut the remaining board, like so. All right, and here is my sheet that I need, or 2 sheets the same length, and that's what I need. So that's just a demonstration on how to cross-cut your drywall and how to rip it to length if you need to. The main thing about drywall is it's heavy, so getting it set up so that you can handle it is most of the battle. All right? Thanks, guys. All right, cool.